to take off. So now we're going to come back and do the same, and then this weekend we'll do 2 days and try to get ourselves right. And probably take Monday or Tuesday off. We got to take a weekday off that week, and we play Friday. So it's right on top of us. Haven't done a whole lot of zone stuff. I mean, if they, it's whether it's offense or defense, haven't done enough in our press or press attack. It showed last game. We're down to how do we get them to play harder? How do we get them to compete on a higher level? How do we get them to play rougher? How do we get them to go after every ball? And then it's like, well, how'd you do it in the past? And then you go back over practice plans and say, what were we doing? What teams did I have that were in this position, and what did I do? And what did we do as a staff to try to change a mentality? Because it's almost like changing a culture. You got to come in and make them think different, and that's what we're trying to do.
How did they respond to the way that you said they need to get tougher? They didn't play the way you wanted them to.
They're great. I'm just telling you, when we got done with practice yesterday, I said they're going to do whatever we ask them to do. They have respect for us. They have respect for the past and results. They know. Now we got to tell them the right things. So obviously, should we have been getting rougher earlier? Maybe. We're not passing the ball to each other right now, but here's the option. You drive to pass. This offense isn't the same offense. You must drive to score. But when you drive to score, you've got to have your head up so that you see and recognize who's open. We're just not there. So I could have them drive to pass, which then we wouldn't have any offense, or I could have them drive and see if they can find him. And right now and it's not one guy. Sometimes guys think it's okay for them to miss people, but when someone passes them up, oh my gosh. So what do? You put the tape on from each player who missed a guy. Now you just missed that guy. What are you doing? You missed him. Are you that selfish? Look at this. All right, go to the next guy. Watch you. Look, the guy's wide open. Why didn't you pass it to him in the corner? Trying to get him to understand, and don't act like he's the only one or he's the only one. We're all passing up everybody. So tape, we did a soft tape too. And I said, we're not laughing. No laughing. So we did all the soft plays. There was about 25 of them.
What is that, John? Define soft
You get pushed
plays.
into the cheerleaders and you got sparkles on your face when you come over. And we're like, what the hell's on your face? And sparkles from the cheerleader because you went to, instead of blocking out, you just stood there and he throws you into the cheerleaders. You slide along the floor and boom into her and her sparkles go on your face. That would be one that happened about 3 times. So we had towels over there wiping sprinkles off faces.
Do freshmen maybe need a game to kind of realize maybe how hard and how physical they have to play?
Yeah, they were shell-shocked. They were also shell-shocked because I got after them. And, I've done it here in practice, but I haven't been like I was in that game. So within 15 seconds into the game, it's on. Now and so they were like, he coaches this hard? Oh my gosh, I didn't know it. Maybe I wouldn't have come here. So it was... That shocked them. Rod Strick came in after. He said, I'm telling you, you shell-shocked them. They didn't understand the intensity you go after a game and whoever it is. So this is all new. How about this? The warm-up lines or the introductions. Did you all notice the introductions? They didn't know where to go. The first guy got introduced and started walking, and he's like, where do I go? The second guy came out and went over to shake hands with the official like you do in high school. We're like, no, don't go over there, go out there. You go out. They know it's going through what we did last year.
Most of these guys, I would think, have never been yelled at like that in a game, or have they?
Yeah, but it's different. It's different. Now all of a sudden and there's a high expectation. They got to play a certain way. They got to, they're not in the kind of shape you want them to be in. They don't have the habits developed yet to stay in the stance, to talk to one another, to play for their teammate instead of themselves. They're not playing their man and one other, they're playing their own man, which means here goes Pikeville shooting layups. You don't shoot layups on us. So that stuff is all, it's just going to take time. I'm going to have to be ultra patient. I've been to this point, and that's why I needed to go crazy in the game to let them know how I'm going to be. I'm trying to be patient, but let me explain something to you. There are certain things that are unacceptable. And I went through those things on the board. This is all unacceptable. You either do this or you come out. You had some guys falling on the floor and losing the ball. Come out, next guy. Guy pushed into the come out, next guy. You're not playing out there those ways. You know, we're playing hard, running back, sprinting the floor, hard cuts, grabbing balls with 2 hands. You know, all little things defensively. So, but you know, I'm just going to have to be patient, and that's hard for me. You know, we've been spoiled here the last 5 years. We've been spoiled. Like, supposed to win every game. In fact, 5 years, not the last year, 5 years. So now all of a sudden it's on, and now we got to teach from the bottom, which we did last year. But those kids were a little different. You see Eric Bledsoe last night started for the Clippers and did really well. I think, who was the guy that said he'd be the surprise of that group? Oh, it was me.
Pat yourself on the back?
I do. My wife says I break my arm doing that sometimes. So,
What did you think of it? Did you know that one of the national guys called Wall a selfish player and me guy?
when did he do that?
Colin Coward
After the first game.
destroyed it.
For the Dougie.
Just destroyed it. That was pretty good.
Shoot first, all that kind of stuff.
What do you say? I mean, we just went through a political campaign, and you're asking me that kind of question? I've never seen anything like it. And then I'm like, I don't feel so bad, the stuff they say about me. Now that I see what they say about each other, I mean, I'm like, what in the world? So I've been through this enough. None of that stuff surprises me. You know, you want to have great talent and have them say you can't coach and then win all the games. You want to be a player that's trying to lead your team to victory and doing everything they want, and then someone attacks you. Deal with it. It's part of being there.
A couple of the players said that you pointed out to them that if Pike was pushing you guys around a little bit down the road.
They pushed us around a lot. And what it was is, see, what the young kids don't understand, they come in this building in front of 21,000 on national, I shouldn't say national, it was to a third of the country, okay? They won't be on TV anymore. They're going to be playing in front of 500 or 2,000. And all of a sudden, this is their game. This is it. The kid from Nebraska wanted to say, I should be on Kentucky. I should be playing here, and he tried to prove it. Well, that's every game we play. They just don't get it yet. They just think it's like one guy looked at their team and said, what are you doing? Like, our guy, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, you're playing so hard for it. Gee, we're out here just to play ball. I mean, you know, we went through some of this last year. The only difference is when we were able to practice, I didn't have to, what I have to do now, which is manufacture the environment of toughness. We had it. We just threw the ball up and we beat the crap out of each other. And we had 15 guys. Here, I'm going to have to manufacture it a little bit. And I've done it before. I mean, it's just that I'm not going to be mad at them for stuff we haven't covered. Because when I saw a guy not knowing where to go in the introduction, he goes to shake the officials. Oh my gosh, that's where they are right now.
Do you think they have it in them and you just have to bring it out, or do you have to produce that in them, that they're more laid back?
If they're what I think they are, they have fight in them, you just have to bring it out. You know, they have fight. It's just, would you rather, nudge against somebody or go to war and bang and have your arm get hurt or scratched? I mean, the natural tendency is go to the easiest route I can go, and that's what we're doing right now. And that's because we're so young, we don't know better. And that's what they did in high school. Shot goes up, I'm not going to go rebound it. I have to go body to body. I'll have to go, let somebody else get it. I'll run back. Each guy trying to get theirs is what it looked like on offense a little bit. But the good point is I found out where we were. Okay, now how do we regroup? And we're going against a team in Dillard who has a great kid that can score the ball, who's about 6'5". They're going to press. They're going to try to play some zone. We're trying to tell them, but we haven't worked much on zone, so don't play much zone, because we just have not spent a whole lot of time. I'm trying to get them to block out without getting thrown into the cheerleaders. So I'm not, but they play a good zone. They play, they press. They're going to, scramble, stuff that we need. The other team came out, Pikeville, and scrambled, and we weren't ready. They punched us in the mouth, right? And we were up 4-0, but it shouldn't have been 4-0. It should have been 4-4. When they went up, they should have been up 6-8 points. Missed some shots, and we, so.
Is Terrence a guy that you're going to have to draw some more physicality out of? He seems to kind of like to roam, out on the perimeter.
He's not the only one though. I mean, the veterans were the same. I mean, believe me when I tell you, we cut out the tough plays, and there were about 4, and they weren't really tough. They were just okay. And then I'm like, I told the guys, cut out the tough plays. And I watched the tape, and they cut. I said, that's not really, because look at the 2 guys over there. These 3 are doing it. They're standing straight up and down. So there was 7 or 6 plays they put on tough plays, and they weren't really. But that's where we got to go. And it's good to know. I mean, we still got time. We got this one. We got 2 practices tomorrow, 2 practices, or 2 practices Saturday, 2 practices Sunday, a day off. We got 3 days to get ready. And then from there, it's like one game after the other. Bang, 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 bang. And we are what we are at that point. We're going to have to just live with it and get them as confident as we can make them.
You play the big guys more tomorrow?
Yeah, hopefully. You know, I thought they did a little bit better, but we'll have to see. I mean, I didn't like the small lineup because we didn't have any fight. There was no viciousness to. You play small, you got to be vicious. You got to be vicious, and you got to make up for your size. And when I say small lineup, we're talking 6'9", 6'8", 6'6", 6'4", 6'3". Of most college teams, that's fine. There'll be 8 or 9 that you better play a big guy. Well, we have them. We'll play that big guy, and if we need a big guy, we'll play him. But the only way you play that kind of lineup is if they're absolutely vicious together. They got to be like a glove playing off of one another, and they're not right now. They're at times playing against one another, and that's what we got to just keep curing. Day-to-day practices, get them better, and doing all those things. So, all right, let me go to practice. Thanks, guys.